right, 24 minutes before 11 o'clock. I think tonight, if the weatherman is right, it's going to be cold tonight. And then the next night, it's going to be like almost back to normal. I guess we would say normal. And then by the weekend, it's going to be like Florida is expected to be, is supposed to be. Oh, man. It's hard to figure it out. Climate Control Mechanical Services, the name itself says what you want. You want to be able to control the climate in your home anyway. And that's what Climate Control Mechanical Services does. They send those young men and women out to help you out. I haven't seen any women on your team yet. Greg Schmidbauer, am I saying your name right?
You are.
Is in the studio, and I know you just started with Climate Control Services, so they kind of threw you under the bus, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely baptism by fire, that's for sure.
You're here by yourself. The phone number right now to call Greg if you have a question about your air conditioner, and today we're talking about repair versus replacement, right?
That's correct.
Is that the idea? The phone number to call is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 352-622-9622. Yeah, they gave you... so when did you find out that you were doing the radio show by yourself?
Yesterday.
And was
but that's fine.
Are you okay with that, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty easy, really. I mean, basically, you're going to talk about what you know.
That's right. That's right.
That's kind of makes it easy.
And this time of year, the repair versus replace thing is really coming into play. Like you said, the way the weather's going up and down, 88 degrees yesterday. I mean, we are not far away from summer, so it's time to start thinking about it.
Yeah, so it's even unusual that we have one last cold blast of air, I think. I'm assuming it's the last cold blast. I don't know that I'm right or not, but... So do you guys, can you look at the like the weather forecast and predict that you're going to get phone calls?
Pretty much.
So tonight you might get a call, huh?
Yeah,
for heat.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's very indicative of how the week's going to go for sure.
Does the weather itself actually, I mean, and this may be a really dumb question, but you always hear that heat causes things to expand and cold to contract.
Sure.
So does the extreme temperatures actually have an effect on the air conditioner itself?
It can. It can. Especially during the summer, when you get the high humidities and the high temperatures, it can cause the air handler to sweat moisture to condensate in the garage.
Okay,
on the unit itself.
So does that influence where you place the unit?
It can.
Okay.
It can. But we want to make sure they're very well sealed. You see that more on the older units that have air leaks and those type of things.
So you would put it in a shady area, or not necessarily?
Well, I'm talking about the unit actually inside the garage, not the one outside.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It can pull warm air in from the garage through the unit. It meets the cold air, and then you get condensation forming on the unit.
Oh, okay. And that's just inevitable, right? It's nothing you can do about that.
I mean, the newer systems are sealed much more tightly, and when we do an installation, we make sure that we seal them tightly. So there are definitely ways around it.
Wow, it's amazing. And speaking of repair versus replacement, that's the exact question I'm asking myself about mine. Because I haven't asked you guys yet what it's going to cost.
Right.
But maybe that's the deciding factor. Once you tell me what it will cost for repairing it versus replacing it.
And we would send out a professional to evaluate the space, do calculations, determine the heat load, the cooling load on your house, make sure the unit's sized properly.
Yeah. But usually, like with a car, replacing it doesn't make sense. I mean, repairing it doesn't make sense sometimes. It's almost like dollar for dollar, you're going to be better off.
Yeah, again, like we had talked about last week with the car analogy.
Yeah.
If you have a transmission go out on a vehicle that is 200,000 miles, is it worth changing the transmission?
Exactly.
Or do you really look
that
at
might be my story with my air conditioner. All right, let's go to the phone. Greg Schmidbauer is your host today. If you have a question for Greg, remember you can call right now, and the number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622. Good morning. You're on the air with Greg.
You were.
I think they had a wrong number.
Right.
Well, that happens, And, what's amazing is they were listening the whole time.
Got a little shy.
Oh, we're on the air.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I didn't know what I was listening to there for a while. So you can predict maybe that tonight you'll get some calls, and these have to be already established customers, right?
No, not at all.
Really?
Right. People maybe find us on our website.
Oh,
they find
wow.
us through the phone book. But when we do those calls, we will definitely offer them, a maintenance contract at that point.
Well, that, to me, every time I hear about that maintenance contract, that's the way to go. All right, now let's try the phone. Good morning. You're on the air with Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good. Thank you. If you don't want to put the air handler in the garage because of space problem, can that be put in the attic? And if it can, will the heat bother it up there in the summertime?
The heat won't bother it. It can be put in the attic. It could also be suspended in the garage if you'd want to do that.
Oh, okay.
Use threaded rod and unistrut.
Yeah.
And then
are those air handlers different sizes? I mean, can you get like a smaller size for? Let's say you need a 4-ton for your house. Can you purposely get a smaller air handler because of you want to save some space?
You can't actually. The American Heating AHRI, Heating and Refrigeration Institute, has a specific number assigned to a condenser and air handler pairing to get the Energy Star rating. So you need to match those.
Are there any particular problems for having an air handler in an attic versus in a garage?
Well, if you're a service guy like me from the past and you have to go up there in the middle of summer, there is an issue. But mechanically, no. You just want to make sure that you have access to service it.
Yeah, and like you say, the extreme heat up there would not interfere with its functioning, huh?
It wouldn't. And then again, I mean, if the home was built and originally the air handler was in the garage and you wanted to move it to the attic, I mean, that would have to be evaluated as far as moving your copper lines, moving your duct work, all of those things. Sometimes it's cost prohibitive to do that.
Yeah, having that in the attic, would that be an advantage, like in the wintertime when you're trying to heat the house?
Not particularly.
Not particularly.
No.
Okay. Well, thank you for your answer. I'm thinking about probably putting one up in the attic then, because I'm limited in my garage, and I'd like to use that space for something else. So if it fits up there, good. We'll put it up there.
Well, definitely give us a call, and we'll send somebody out and evaluate the space for you.
Yeah. I'll just keep giving you guys a lot of Cokes when you go up there in the summer.
That's right. Keep us hydrated. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You know what occurred to me in the summertime, and I haven't heard of this in a while. I'm assuming they still do it. The electric company will offer their customers an opportunity for them to control the air conditioner so that they can reduce the load on them. Does that interfere with what you guys try to do? What are your thoughts? You know what I'm talking about, right?
I do, like the load management, like something through SECO or something.
Because Robin had that in her house. She doesn't have it now, but in another house she had, they would turn off her air conditioner when it was like really hot.
Yeah, like peak load time.
Right.
Yeah, and it cycles through your air conditioner, your water heater, different power-consuming appliances in the house.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And I've talked to people that have realized savings, and they get rebates by having those installed.
Okay, and how do they actually turn off your appliances? Do they do it from their office somehow?
Yeah, they actually have a box mounted.
Is that amazing?
It is. It is.
Oh, do they have to drive to your house to turn it off?
No. It senses peak loads and then will cycle accordingly.
So when you're working on and now this is something that the consumer has to agree to, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you're working on somebody's unit, you immediately see this device on it, right?
Yeah, there's indicator lights on it, and then when you turn the breakers on and off, you're able to cycle it. There's like a 10-minute delay, but you're able to work on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep, seen quite a few of those.
I wonder what actually uses the most electricity. It's got to be the air conditioner.
Oh, most definitely during the summer.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the most power-consuming appliance in the house by far.
And is there an equation or some way of understanding how much you save when you lower? Like, let's say you say, okay, I can't afford it at the temperature I like. If I make it a little bit hotter, a little bit warmer, maybe it's a better word.
Yeah, there's some numbers that can be put to that. And on that note too, the seasonal energy efficiency rating, the SEER rating of a system, is how efficient it is. So for 1 unit of electricity, you get X number of units of cooling out of it. 6 or 7 years ago, a system would be rated at 10 SEER. Now you're looking minimum 14 SEER, so 40% more efficient.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. We hope so, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now let's talk about the replacement versus repairs. How do you help me decide which road to take?
Well, we come out and evaluate the system and look at a couple things. Number one, the age of the system. Number two, has it been maintained? Which obviously you'd get more life out of it that way. Yeah. Sometimes simple repairs can be made, but you get, in Florida, 8, 10, 12 years old on a heat pump. You're really not operating efficiently anymore.
Now, can you give me an estimate of how long it might? Let's say I opt for the repair, and you say, well, that's going to cost what's a good ballpark figure? $500, something like that?
Let's say that.
Okay, so you say it's going to be $500. It'll probably last another 3 years.
And that's the hard part. Like, if you look at replacing an evaporator coil, $1,400 on something that's 8 or 10 years old, and you cannot promise how long the compressor is going to last after doing that.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah, and you really, need to explain that to the homeowner. Because there is no way to tell, and you make a $1,500 repair, and 3 weeks later you're out and looking at another 12.
That's something else. Well, there's the car.
And then you're just chasing tail.
Chasing tail.
Yeah,
I like that expression.
Thank you.
All right, so when? Hey, do you hear something? I heard the echo going on in my head. I don't know where that was coming from. So you give me those numbers. And hold on, I think I hit a button over here. And then I make a decision on. Here it is. Here's the button I hit wrong. Was there something wacky going on in your headset right there?
No.
Not at all, huh? It was just happening over here.
That's right.
So you give me those numbers, and I make a decision, and
I mean then you make a decision.
It's probably safe to say that a 5-year-old, or maybe make it a little bit older than that, a 10-year-old air conditioner probably is better off to be replaced.
10 years, yeah. At 5 years, you'd want to look at the repair again, depending on if the system's been maintained or not.
Do you have a lot of that this time of year where people make that decision, or do you typically have that in the heat of the summer?
Typically in the heat of the summer. This is the time of year we really recommend turning on the air conditioner, make sure the system's functioning, and if it's not, let's address it now.
When you get a loan for that, I mean that's a
yep, absolutely. There is financing available.
Okay, and does the finance company look at the air conditioner itself as collateral, like they do a car?
I am not sure how they look
Probably not.
at that.
I can't imagine repossessing of an air conditioner.
That'd be a tough deal.
Yeah, so your credit has to be probably better than it would need to be for a car.
I don't think it needs to be better.
Okay, just about the same?
Right.
Okay. Good morning. You're on the air with Greg.
Yeah, I'm calling back. I have another quick question on what is this the usual standard warranty on a unit, air conditioning unit?
Standard warranty is 5-year parts and labor, 10-year parts. And then you can take out additional 10-year parts and labor.
Oh, you can extend that warranty out?
Yep, just to 10 years, though. That's the max.
Just to 10 years. Okay. Is that fairly expensive, or? Is it worth it in your opinion?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. The 10-year warranty in Florida is absolutely worth it.
Is it kind of like with an automobile bumper to bumper for 10 years, almost everything is covered?
It is. And it covers your diagnostic charges Monday through Friday, 8 to 4.
Yeah.
And then your maintenance program picks up the diagnostic charges after hours.
Yeah. All the different brands offer that, or is that through your business, or how does that work?
The brands offer it.
Brands offer it, yeah.
I mean, 8-9 years down the road, if you have an evaporator coil fail,
it's covered, huh? Yeah.
It's covered. So
okay,
yeah.
You'd almost be living in Florida here with the way you use them down here. You'd almost be foolish not to take that warranty.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Thanks a lot again.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you have a question for Greg, the phone line is open. The WOCA Climate Control Source hotline is 352-622-9622, and the phone number is sponsored by Climate Control, which is why you hear us identify our phone number that way every time we mention it. And you guys are helping us with our project over at the Paddock Mall too. So
yeah, good.
So when we move over there, it'll be nice and cool.
That's right. When are you planning on moving?
Well, I'm not sure. I guess it'll be probably by summer.
Oh, okay.
I would guess, or maybe before actual summer. Do you know, there's one complaint I would have about the air conditioner in the Cascades. And I don't know if I'm complaining about the right thing. And I'm not alone in this one. It's never really been uncomfortable temperature-wise.
Right.
But there's always been this mold, this sense that there's mold here. I don't know that it's accurate, but a lot of people say it. Like, we used to have a lady who worked here whose eyes would get bloodshot because she swore that there was mold in the room, and I sort of can smell it. On a hot day, you can sort of kind of feel it a little bit.
Almost like a dirty sock smell. That's what they call it, the dirty sock.
Well, we've
syndrome.
had that. We have had that for sure, but I don't know that I'm blaming the right thing. I think I may be blaming. I think the air conditioner is probably working fine. It's just the building itself, maybe.
Possibly, and when was the last time it was serviced? Checking the filters, yeah.
It's amazing how many air conditioners are on this building.
This place is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even imagine.
I think the restrooms have their own air conditioners.
That's probably possible.
I'm pretty sure, because when we do the parade, we have to stretch a wire from here to the street. And in order to do that, I walk past this little unit, and it says men's room on it. It looks like an air conditioner.
Yeah,
so.
that's probably correct. That's probably correct. But again, we want to encourage people to turn their air conditioners on now. And if something isn't working, give us a call, and we can address it, because June, July, people get really grumpy really fast when their air conditioning goes out.
Well, I would bet that if they don't turn them on today, they'll be turning them on Saturday.
Yeah. And people need to realize, too, it's like a 1 or 2 degree differential that your body really notices. You know, it's not 5, 6, 10 degrees. The difference between 77 and 79 is tremendous as far as what you feel.
Right. The fan alone setting. What is that actually used for? Just to circulate? Because it's not like having a fan in the room.
It does a couple things. Number one, in the winter, if you leave the fan on, the air's constantly circulating. So when your heat comes on, you don't get that initial slug of cold air out of the ductwork.
Oh, okay.
Secondly, if people have severe allergies and you have high-efficiency filter on your system, if you leave the fan on, it's constantly filtering the air rather than just filtering it when the heat or air conditioner comes on.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the main function there.
Yeah. Now, and speaking of fans, as a supplement to comfort, a lot of people will have a fan. We have a fan in the production room, a little tiny fan. To me, it's a smart idea.
Oh, absolutely. And ceiling fans make a huge difference as far as, keeping an even temperature in the home.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys do that? Do you do the fans or the ceiling fans?
I don't know if we do the residential or not. I would have to check, being new.
I got you.
I'm not sure. I'll let you know.
But maybe the business ones?
Possibly.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you living in a home? And is it? Well, are you living in a home? Are you living in like a brick home or a cement home or a wood home? Or
wood home.
You're for wood home. Now, is there a noticeable difference between the different styles of houses?
Oh, absolutely. And we have a 2-story, so there's some challenges there, as far as keeping the air balanced.
One air conditioner.
2-story. Yeah. But we've got it balanced pretty well.
So heat rises. So does the bottom floor stay colder?
Yes.
Does it really?
It really does, especially in the summer. I mean, it's noticeably cooler down there.
So in the winter, the bottom floor is colder.
Yeah. There's a definite difference.
I guess the bottom floor is always colder, but it's what you want in the
summertime.
Right,
absolutely.
Right. I got you.
Yeah. Cathedral ceilings upstairs, and there's a substantial difference. I mean, ideally 2 systems at the house would be great, but
we started to talk a little bit about financing. Do we do that first? Do we go to our banks first and say, I'm looking to get a loan so I can buy an air conditioner?
We offer it through the Florida Credit Union.
Oh, you do?
We do.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. And then when we visit a homeowner, we give them the information to contact them directly.
Okay. And I guess it's just your credit rating, and then you're in.
Yeah. And you can even... I've done it in the past where a system's been 5 or 6 years old and they just needed to replace, let's say, an evaporator coil. And like we talked earlier, that's $1,200 or $1,500 in financing that component.
Oh, I got you. So when you repair versus replace, you're not going to get a loan to repair, or I guess you could.
You could.
But not typically through the credit union, right?
You could.
Oh, you could.
Okay. Yeah, they have minimums. But, sometimes a repair is cost-prohibitive to somebody, and we try to find something that'll work for them. Yeah.
Now, when people buy a car, typically they only want to know what the monthly payment is. What typically is it for an air conditioner?
I would have to research that and give you an answer on that.
And is it spread out over 5 years like a car, or? It
can be, and I know that they were doing like first year same as cash type thing. Then the interest would accrue after that.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's through a credit union, if you listen to Clark Howard, he'll tell you that. Do you know who Clark Howard is? The finance guy on the radio.
Yeah, absolutely.
He will always recommend you use a credit union for loans like that.
Yeah, so that's definitely something that we offer.
Well, that's a good deal.
Yeah,
I mean that's a smart way of doing it. I mean, I wonder how many people are just kind of hacking it out, waiting until they've got enough money saved up to buy an air conditioner.
Yeah, that's an option for them. And then, replacing a 10-year-old system, you're looking at probably $30, $40 a month savings during the peak cooling months.
Wow.
Yeah. And a much more balanced and much more even cooling and heating.
and seal up those the places where the air leaks out, right?
Absolutely.
Well, that's a good idea. Now, so what would be the first step somebody would take to have you guys analyze their situation so that they would know better whether to buy or replace?
I mean, just absolutely give us a ring, and we'll send a comfort specialist out.
A comfort specialist. And what's the phone number?
291-0185.
I actually have it written down, but see, I have several numbers written down here, and I'm often not sure. Now, there's a toll-free number.
You can go ahead with that.
Okay, you want me to read it?
Sure.
Because I don't want to throw you a curveball. It's 1-888-711-4822, and you guys have a website also. It's OcalaAirConditioning.com and ClimateControlFlorida.com. I guess you have two of them. And for anybody wanting more information, plus you can always call us here. We'll be glad to repeat that stuff for you.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Thank you.
So this is your second week with the company?
It is. It is.
Wow.
And what a great company to work for.
And how far and wide, how far do you travel typically?
We'd go to Sumter County, Lake, Marion, Alachua.
And did you move here, you said?
Yeah.
Recently?
I moved down from Wisconsin in '93.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah,
I remember that conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so in other words, you just got the job here, but you've lived here this whole time.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And so far with the company?
Awesome. Loving it.
What's the farthest you've gone since you've been with them?
Gainesville.
Gainesville?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll be going back up there this afternoon.
That's where my son works. My son works in Gainesville, lives here in Ocala. Yeah.
Nice.
Anything new in legislation that would change air conditioning rules? Does that ever affect you guys?
It does. Nothing I'm aware of right now.
Yeah.
Nothing I'm aware of right now.
I'm guessing the coolant is part of what they regulate, right?
Yeah, one thing I have actually done is require that we put locking caps on all of the refrigerant ports so people can't let the Freon out of the systems. Vandalizing them, that had become an issue for a little while.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, just as a prank, just letting the coolant out?
Uh-huh.
I
know. Better ways to spend your time, I'm sure.
Wow. Well, somebody was slashing tires down I guess at the Ocala Shopping Center the other night. Did you hear that?
I did not, but
I think that's where they were saying it was happening. All right, Greg Schmidbauer, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
And keep doing a good job. Next time you come around, are they going to send you by yourself again?
I think we'll have Russ with us next time.
And where did Russ go this time?
He had to go down to Tampa. He's bidding a job down there.
It's just amazing. You guys travel all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
But Ocala is your home base.
As far as the residential side, yeah. Commercial side, Georgia, Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greg, thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
And anybody who needs any of that information repeated, just call us up, or you can go to WOCA.com, look at the guest list for AM Ocala Live, and you will see at the 10:35 slot on Thursdays, you'll see Climate Control Mechanical Services. Robin has made sure that that's all in place there. You can get the information from that. Thank you, Greg.
Thanks again.
We'll take a little break and be right back.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
ABC News Now. I'm Karen Chase. Obesity remains a growing problem in America despite societal efforts to cut the fat. The CDC